But I was here.
Oh, baby. We're all here, man. We're ready.
Each one of us.
Each one of us. How do the Nuggets not take their job serious? They don't show up. What's going on? What's going on with this team? I'm serious. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show. Live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your front range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. You know what? It's nice when, if your team loses, you don't want to have to sit in it. Like you always say, for days and days.
Yeah.
Although I will say, this game coming a little quick.
Well, less than 24 hours quick, technically.
I feel like we were just right here, but we're
How
back
is
here.
that allowed? How were you allowed to play less than 24 hours after your last game?
I got to tell you something. I walked home, as I explained on the UC Health read. Legs are pretty sore. I'm not ready to do another walk. Need more time off.
When the old walk gets you, that's a tough one. We got some fun stats for you today. We're also going to update our own confidence scale. And we're going to, of course, try to snap the Pistons win streak. They can't tie the Jokic era best win streak against Denver. We can't let that happen.
Can't let it happen,
Yes,
man.
they can.
Well, shut up. Get those bad vibes out of here. Brennan Vogt's in the building.
Hey, what's up, guys?
He
I walked
couldn't
here.
bear to see another bad Michael Porter Jr. game.
He'll be here eventually. D-Line's Co. is in the building.
That's right, guys. I swore off the Denver Nuggets last night.
Did you really? All the way home?
Yep. Swore off them.
Wow.
And I'm back on the sauce, just like that. I swore off the Nuggets like I did vaping the other week. And, well, hang around me long enough to see how that worked.
Harrison Wynn's in the building.
I'm with you, man. We cannot let the Detroit Pistons be on the verge of 10 wins before us.
Detroit
That would be
basketball.
embarrassing. That would be a shame. We can't let that happen.
We really can't, man. We have to get him here tonight, and we will. Well, the Nuggets on the second night of a back-to-back, pretty good.
I know, man. I mean, except for that last back-to-back. Or
Well-
we 0-1 in our last second night of back-to-backs.
Well, that was the last one.
That's old stuff, man. Dude,
Yeah.
that's the old team I swore off, not this new team I'm falling back into.
Yeah.
What do you got for his game notes-wise?
Well, the Pistons, of course, as we're, been talking about, come into this game at 33-26. They're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-game winning streak. They're the biggest surprise of the season.
God damn. I remember this
honestly.
when this was us last week, by the way.
I saw a stat maybe last week that, the Pistons have 30-plus wins right now. They have 33 wins. I think they had 33 wins combined their last 3 seasons. And they're already at that number this year.
They're a great story. I think they're the number one story in the NBA this year, the Detroit
Absolutely.
Pistons.
The winning streak to this point, not that impressive except for this last win that they had over the Celtics. Philadelphia, Charlotte, Chicago, San Antonio, Atlanta, Clippers, Celtics. So not a ton of great wins in there, but they did beat Boston this last game, 117-97 in pretty convincing fashion. I think Jaylen Brown was out for that game, but still,
Still,
a very good win.
that is a good one. I'll take one of those.
Pre-game notes, Aaron Gordon out tonight with
Yeah.
an ankle sprain.
Bro, man,
Apparently he hurt it this last game. Not the calf, an ankle sprain.
I know. That's a bummer, man.
Yeah.
No P-Watt or AG.
Oh,
Let's get some stops. Probably would have been
Not
nice
great
against
for this
Cade.
defense.
godly. I didn't even think about that. I hadn't extrapolated this out yet.
And I haven't seen the starting lineup yet. Maybe it's out, but Michael Malone said pregame, he didn't tip his hand. He said, you have Zeke Naji. You can go small with Michael at the 4. We can throw some different lineups out there. I've got to think he's thinking about starting Russell Westbrook too, and going small that way. So we'll see what happens. And Michael Malone on Aaron Gordon said, this last game, he said he definitely wasn't moving the way we've become accustomed to seeing him move. So Malone said he was pretty obvious that Gordon wasn't himself, but he was able to finish that game. I'm guessing it's something that tightened up on him afterward. And then Michael Malone just talking about that loss to the Bucks last night. He said, I know sometimes we oversimplify things by saying it's a make or miss league, but if we just convert some of those missed 19 layups, 19 layups, that was the number?
Dude.
That's a big number.
Bro, Michael Porter had a couple. We didn't even talk about it the other day. We talked about his missed threes, but he had the layups were those scary.
I'm starting to remember why I was so angry last night.
Was he so bad that Vogt quit?
Oh my God, did Vogt quit?
He was like, man, Porter, I can't do this.
What if Vogt is just like, I don't know, like
What do you think? What's Occam's razor here? Not face down in a ditch. I don't think that's the
Occam's
most
razor is that he used Vogt's razor. No, is that he doesn't realize there's a game.
I think it's thought the game was at 6.
Yeah.
I think it's that second out of back-to-back. I thought the game was at 6.
To finish that, Claude Mullen said, for the most part, we generated great looks.
I'm so
He is
mad.
right. It is a make or miss league. It is.
Last night it was a miss and miss league.
Yeah. But that's the story for tonight. Let me see if the starters are out yet. I'm actually very curious what way Malone goes with his starting lineup. He is going with Zeke Naji.
Let's go! Zeke gets the start,
Zeke
baby.
Naji at the 4.
Dude, the Zeke
victory
arc is
card-
honestly the funniest arc
Yeah,
in the
you
history
screw
of
the-
It's
basketball.
insane, man.
Screw the Pistons. You want to talk about the best story in the NBA.
I know, yeah, man.
I saw PJ Tucker got waived today. Didn't even think about him. We've
Really?
got our PJ
Why would
Tucker.
we need a PJ
We've got
Tucker?
a better version of PJ Tucker.
Where are we going to get our DeLon Wright, though?
Jalen Pickett.
Oh, let's
We
go.
got him.
Oh, man, we
Got him.
We got Jalen right
Dude,
at home, man.
hopefully we get a little Pickett time tonight.
Please.
You know, one guy short, maybe, huh? That's not exactly the
It
position.
ends up jumbling
that's needed,
everything.
but
It ends up jumbling everything.
Julian moves up. Everybody kind of
Everything
moves up a
jumbles.
spot. I would not mind a little Pickett. I mean, he's Grand Rapids,
okay.
right
He
there.
has played with Grand Rapids, yes.
Basically a
Okay.
home game for him.
Basically a home game.
I know that anytime I work professionally in a place for like 3 months, it becomes my home.
Becomes your home, you know? Yeah. Especially
I want to put on for my city.
Yeah, but I bet Jalen Pickett likes Grand Rapids.
why?
I don't know. Kind
Because
of-
the Applebee's that's close.
He's an upstate New York guy.
Chili's, you
Chili's.
jerk.
He's an upstate New York guy. Lives in Rochester.
Yeah.
I feel like there could be some synergy there.
Rapids and Rochester
Yeah.
feel the same deal.
I've never been to
Call me
either place.
Call me
But
crazy.
I'm just guessing.
This makes a lot of sense.
There's
to
It
me.
no
does
synergy
actually
there.
fit. It actually kind of works. I don't know how.
I don't know what it is. It just
To
makes
be
a lot
clear,
of sense.
never been to either place.
But you've been to other places in
But
America.
Zeke
so
Naji
yes, you
tonight,
have.
man, honestly, look, I wish AG was playing, but with everything comes an opportunity. Zeke has been playing well. This now presumably means even more minutes with Yoke.
Yeah.
By the way, more minutes with Yoke this season than he had in the previous 2 combined already by a lot. Part of my talking point about how it's a mystery. Whenever Yoke's off the court, everyone looks terrible, and some players only ever play without him. Well, this year he looks good.
Are we-
A lot of that has to do with he gets to play with Jokic. Tonight, he should play with Jokic a lot.
Yeah. Are we allowed to count minutes that Zeke plays with Jokic as 2 minutes? Towards minus the 555. It's gotta it's right.
Hey,
It's like more
man,
valuable.
tonight actually goes a long way to if he can get 30 minutes
if he
tonight.
gets like 5 starts,
Yeah.
he might just get it.
He just
you
might
know?
get it, man. So I'm excited for that part of it tonight. Zeke Naji getting to play.
Me too. I'm excited.
They
to
have
see
a
Zeke.
nice. You know what works about Pistons? To get serious here for a second, you know what works for the Detroit Pistons? Because I've watched them a little bit this week in the lead up to it.
Yeah.
What works is, one, they have a clear number one.
Cade Cunningham. Yeah.
I agree. But this is not a team where it's like, well, we're this and we're that. It's like they're Cade's team. And he is, I think, like Yoke, a very fun player to play with. He plays at his own tempo. And everybody has a job to do. Malik Beasley's having an unbelievable season. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Even by for anybody's standards, let alone his. And I think a lot of it is he's in there to do the thing that he does well, and he
Yep.
just executes at it. There's a lot of guys. Dennis Schroeder's been a good addition for them. Everybody does the thing they're supposed to do, and Cade's the engine. And they remind me a lot of the 2018 or 2017 Nuggets when everything was falling into place and there was just an energy about it.
I mean, Malik Beasley right now has shot the 4th most threes in the NBA,
Fourth most.
behind Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, and Steph Curry.
Well, his percentage is low because he's shooting so many, right?
No, he's shooting 44.5%
On that volume, unbelievable.
On the 4th most threes in the game in the league this season. He's shooting 9.5 threes per game
Yeah.
off the bench, I believe.
And
so
yeah.
he's goes in there to do a job, and he does it in terms of just like a specialist, maybe better than anybody else in the league this year.
Asar Thompson, a lot like his brother Amen Thompson. He's just a monster on defense, an absolute demon. And then they have Jalen Duren, who I think Jokic should murder, but he is a physical guy. That guy is because he's 21. He's a man child. He looks like Dwight Howard. He's just really, really strong. Yoke should be able to have his way with him. He's not that long. And, I think, and then you got another guy behind him.
He's a lob threat, though. He's a guy in the pick and roll that is going to really hurt you if your backside rotations aren't on point, which the Nuggets haven't really
with no Aaron
having
Gordon.
that this year.
That end of the floor,
small with MPJ.
that end of the floor for sure. But I'm saying Yoke posting up Jalen Duren should be barbecue chicken. That
For
should
sure.
be and then you get Beef Stew in there, who I really like. He's going to try to get physical, but he's tiny as well.
Schemes make me hungry already.
Beef Stew
And barbecue chicken. Yeah, listen, the Nuggets are in a weird spot, but you feel good about Jokic going up against a young, athletic center. This is like his bread and butter, so to speak.
You know another cool storyline here? Coach of the Year is almost certainly going to be Kenny Atkinson, who replaced JB Bickerstaff. JB Bickerstaff goes to Detroit, probably second candidate for Coach of the Year. It's always weird. You get fired from a job. Both guys, it ended up working out really well for. So just kind of a cool storyline there as well.
Lots of cool stories.
Isn't that cool, man?
I mean, the Detroit Pistons, they're having the most vibesy year out of anybody, maybe, in the entire NBA.
Well, it's because
like them and the Thunder.
Anytime there's no expectation and
Totally.
you wildly exceed that and you get...
This is like the Nuggets in 2018-19.
You reinvigorate a fan base. Yeah, now we're tortured by expectation.
Right.
We can't have fun. We're all convinced we're going to lose every game. We'll be back, though.
But here's the thing with Denver. If you split the Milwaukee-Detroit road trip back-to-back, it does feel right. So for as annoying as last game was, you hope it was something of a wake-up call that tonight that you get their best punch and they come out and play well. I do think Denver has a weird thing where they're bad on rest. They like the rhythm. Yoke's talked about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other notes? Can we move to the next segment here?
The only other note I had wasn't on the show last night, and I saw Jamal Murray on the injury report with knee inflammation, which he's been on there for a while. He is playing. He is playing. I thought he looked real unhealthy last night.
Yeah.
He was moving really bad, at least from the start. That was, from my perspective. One of the things that jumped out immediately, Jamal just was not moving well. And it was weird because he had the days off, but maybe it's a thing with that type of injury where it's better if you're just kind of playing on it.
I also wonder if it's they don't want to administer anti-inflammatories every night. It's not good to do. You know what I mean? Because that clearly he said as much, and it's truly like a light switch. But last night, I didn't necessarily feel like he didn't look healthy. To me, he didn't look engaged, and I don't know if there's a difference or if it's the same. But he just didn't seem as though he wanted to be the reason that the team won the game. He just didn't want to be the reason they lost it.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I have a crazy stat for you guys. The starting lineup, which will not play tonight, but the starting lineup this year is 9-7.
That's lame.
That's not very good. 9-7 when everybody is healthy. What's weird is when Westbrook is out of the rotation, the Nuggets are 7-0. When Michael Porter Jr. is out of the rotation, the Nuggets are 3-0. When Jamal Murray is out of the rotation, the Nuggets are 6-1. Why do we suck when everybody's healthy and are good when somebody is short?
Bizarre.
Because it makes the new person try hard.
You think it's as simple as that?
Yes, I think that this team is they know who they are and they're very comfortable coasting. And that comes off of the back of their all-world center. He's kind of, but the problem is that his ceiling is so high his floor is so high that even when he's taking it easy, he's still dominating. But other guys can't do what he does. But he does he'll turn it off for sure. So that sucks, but it's true.
Isn't that a crazy stat? MPJ, Murray, Westbrook, when they're out, they've only lost one game.
Because it's all these guys that want to prove themselves. Strother steps up and Pickett steps up.
I don't know if it's that.
I don't think it's.
I don't think it's that actually.
It's got to be something. That's too simple of an answer. I feel
it's Occam's razor.
No. I have another one.
Hasn't left his house yet.
Has no idea that there's a game or show or job. That could be anything.
Two simple answers.
Here's the thing, though. I think it might have more to do with the team. I just talked about the Pistons and how there's clarity. Guys have a role to do. There's a little bit of overlapping here, and we talked about Westbrook was unbelievable when Murray went out.
Yeah.
Murray was unbelievable when Westbrook went out. The two together, I do think it's hard for a player like Westbrook to, I'm in a reduced role and I have to adjust my game in these ways. I think those adjustments are difficult for players like a Westbrook, for a Murray. And an MPJ, almost similar things. When he's out, there's that one to me, it's only 3 games, 3-0. But even there, that one I could see a little bit more opportunity. But I think Murray and Westbrook in particular, and you could say even to a lesser extent Aaron Gordon, when there's a lot of guys, maybe there's just a little bit of a Westbrook, we don't need that much from you, and that's hard to do. Murray, we don't need that much, or MPJ, we don't need that much. It's a hard adjustment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very startling stat, I feel like, because on paper, the Nuggets have this great starting five.
They have it on court, too.
Yeah, the numbers are great.
9 and 7?
Yeah.
Not all the numbers.
I'm just saying, like, the net rating.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
When the starting lineup is together. But
you're right, because it's not the starting lineups that's losing those games; it's the rotation behind it that's losing.
Right,
yeah.
right, and it's just almost like the sum of this roster is like less than the parts.
That's
it
bad.
Just doesn't come together.
That means you have to tear the roster down and sell it for parts. That's what you have. That's
Well, I think the other thing is Denver has a lot of one-way players. So
True.
So when everybody's healthy, you're like, all right, well, I'm getting in my offensive guy here now not not this or that. And maybe it just because like I'm talking about Malik Beasley gets to go in there and I'm just got to shoot and I got to get open off ball and I got to do this and it just is simple instead of when everybody's healthy, you're trying to find combinations of
Russ,
two-way.
I think specifically has the hardest time with this, like you were talking about. But I think it's like really difficult for him because he finds himself open from three. He's like, "Am I supposed to shoot this? I don't know what I'm doing." Like if I'm charging in and dishing, I'm comfortable. But there's a lot of time where you just see him not sure what he should be doing, and then when he does shoot, it is just terrible. Like it's so. I hope that there is some clarity that comes soon.
Nuggets are 14-9 without Aaron Gordon, which is not a great record, but it is better than when everybody's healthy, randomly enough. So tonight should be an interesting one there. Let's go to our confidence scale here, guys. You guys remember the old confidence scale?
Yeah.
Where are we at with the Nuggets right now? It's nice. We usually do this after a win streak. You know it? Like usually we do this when it's like, we're all heating up because none of us want to sound like we're too crazy.
Yeah.
But we're doing this now on a little bit of a difficult moment, so I'm kind of curious.
I forgot how hilarious this graphic was.
Where are you at?
Can you bring it back up? I think I am. Oh my God, where am I? I think I'm appropriately measured.
Really?
I think so. I mean,
appropriately measured on the team.
I feel
Are we winning the chip?
oh God. I mean, the
I
measure.
think you're on the shorter side of things, actually.
I think that it's hard to say yes right now, but it's foolish to say no.
I like that. That was very wise.
Thanks.
So right now you are just appropriately wait and see mode. We haven't been told that they are not
Bro,
the team.
it's like
but we haven't been told that they are.
Right. Like we're at a place where it doesn't look good, but we need the official report to come out. Like we're spinning, we've got our own conspiracy theories. We just got to see how it plays out. But like, I can't abandon it just yet, but I'm mad.
You are mad.
I'm really mad.
Yeah. Okay. What about you,
I'm
Harrison?
appropriately measured too.
Well, of course.
Am I like extremely bustling with confidence about
No,
this team?
if you were, you wouldn't be appropriately measured.
Am I about to jump off a bridge? No. I am closer to being on the short side of things than heating up, though. That's absolutely for sure. Look, what are we, 3/4 of the way through the season? 2/3 of the way through the season? I'm not good at math. You guys know that. We're about there. This team doesn't have a lot of quality wins this season.
God.
They have one great player, a couple very good members of their supporting cast.
Very well paid players.
And then the rest. I think this is a good team. They're definitely not a great team, and I think we have a lot of data this season to support that. I just think we know who this team is by now. That being said, can they catch fire in a bottle and find this amazing rhythm?
It's a Molotov cocktail.
Is that
Lightning in a bottle.
Lightning in a bottle?
Yeah.
Catch fire
or
and lightning in a bottle. Can they
Can
do
they get
both
hit by
those
lightning
things
out of a bottle and catch fire?
Yeah.
and go on a postseason run to the finals? Yeah, I still think they can.
Of course they can.
I absolutely think they can. But it's hard for me to like really be fully confident in that happening right now, because how could you?
I'm firmly on the shorter side.
Whoa.
I'm firmly on the shorter side. And look, man, we are this deep into the season. Their second best win, I think, came on Monday against Indiana. You could say it was that one.
And that one's like such a lame win, too.
That's what it's the second best win of the year.
We literally didn't play the funky music.
If they win tonight, this will be the second best win of the year.
Oh my god!
Honest to God, this would be the second best win because I think you're talking
the best.
The Thunder win. That Thunder one was very impressive. But yeah, they have wins over the Clippers. Is that impressive? Okay, maybe. They have win over the Hawks. They have win that was shorthanded Jalen Johnson. They have wins over Golden State when Golden State was struggling. Like, there's not a great one in there. So tonight would actually be the second best win. And until you start showing me that, the defense hasn't been great. Till I start seeing defense that's consistent. And more important to me, I still think the Nuggets can win a championship this year. The clock is ticking. I always think when you have a Jokic-led team, it's always about connection. How does the team play together? Are they coalescing and becoming a unit? And like last night gave you no confidence of that. They haven't really given us a ton of that. So for me, I'm on the shorter side, and I'm begging to be proven wrong. I'm begging. Yeah. Coming into the year, I predicted 52 wins. They're currently on pace for 52. They're kind of what I thought. You got Jokic. You always have this floor that's really high. But to win the good games, you have to do the other stuff, and Denver has not done it yet. But
they were on pace for like 57 last week. They're all over the goddamn place. Listen, the Denver Nuggets are either going to figure it out or they're not. They have what they need. We're really getting down to the place where it's like, oh man, okay, now Malone's got to get it out of them. Now they got to decide that they want this. Now all the things that we know that they can do. I'm tired of making excuses for them. We haven't really been making that many, but like. The tough part about this squad specifically is, well, this squad sort of is that we know the height. Obviously, it's not all the same players,
it's the curse of winning a title is you now know the level it is.
Right, like you didn't quite know how disappointing every season was before, and now we know just how disappointing it could be. Yeah. So we'll see.
But there is time, man, and here's one thing I'll say about Denver. This stretch right here, I think, is either going to wake them up or not, because you can't play bad and win. Yep. Like, they played okay for a half. They were in the lead. They played bad in the second half and got ran. It's like, you do that again tonight, you're going to get ran again. So Denver is they're thrown into the deep end now. I'm not sure if they can swim, but they're thrown into the deep end, and I do think iron will sharpen iron or break them at the seams. We'll find out.
Do you agree that this is our confuse them season with Patrick there in the Toyota shop?
Confuse them. I like it.
But I am happy that this stretch of the schedule is happening right now. Like you said, Detroit, Boston, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, LA. Like, we're going to know. And I would rather know if I have to take this team seriously heading into the playoffs now than not know. You know, like last year heading into game one.
We never get to know. We never know.
We'll know this year. So I'm happy about that.
Our pregame picks are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use the code DNVR365. Deposit $10 and place a bet of $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. No superstar Dev today.
That's right. I phoned him in. I phoned him into Kale.
So you phoned it in, huh?
Yeah, I picked him on my phone and I sent it over to Kale.
Oh, it sounded like you were trying.
Oh, well, I mean, that's kind of my general thing. So let's look at this through the lens of the Bet365 bookmakers. They believe that the Nuggets are not favored in this game. They are
appropriate.
2.5 point underdogs.
Okay. Nobody believes in us?
No one believes. Time to remind them, guys.
You got to remind them.
Let's confuse them some more, actually.
Yeah, like, the line just changed. Now it's +2. So... It's changing a little bit, but they are
money coming in.
They are, as soon as I said that, yeah. As soon as so the Nuggets are looking uphill a little bit. It's been a while since they haven't been favored, but they certainly earned that last night. And the over/under for the game is 240. So this is just like last night. They wouldn't have hit this. We'll see if the Nuggets offense shows up tonight. I don't know, man. I don't know that I would if I would choose either one of those. I think we're all feeling a little bit sheepish.
I feel like all outcomes are on the table tonight.
Totally. I do
I'm
too.
not saying the Nuggets are doomed or anything. I'm just like, I don't know what we're getting, man.
Right. Like, would I be surprised if we're playing the funky music in 2.5
not at
hours?
all. Not at all.
It just wouldn't be.
Just to soothe ourselves, even though it was a loss.
We will play it at our funeral one day.
Okay, let's go to the board, shall we? So here are the three official
You put
picks.
on the board a Pistons bid? Not even Deb does
Has that even been done before?
That's never been done in the history of betting.
Kale, bring it back to me.
Everybody boo!
Bring it back to me, guys. Trying to make some money. Okay,
all right.
Bring it back up. All right. So the player prop of the game, Malik Beasley.
Of course.
We talked about it in the intro. The amount of threes he's getting up. This is another revenge game for him. He seems to want these games against the Denver Nuggets. We're obviously the first team that gave up on him. So us and the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm sure, have a special place in his heart, and he loves to bring it back. I miss old Beasley. He was great here. And then for my second bet that I think you feel maybe a little bit better about, there are two players I feel good about for the Denver Nuggets right now. It is Nikola Jokic and it is Christian Brown. Those are the only two that are consistently bringing effort each and every night. Christian might have a little bit of a tougher night. I imagine he might get in that Cade zone a little bit, both defending and being defended by from time to time, but I still like his points plus rebounds at over 20.5. He's just the only guy that is looking to make things happen all the time. And, rebounding and points are two things that come from that. And then I suppose my lock of the game, the absolute lock, Jamal Murray, over 2.5 threes. Did not hit this last night. Made me very upset. But again, I'm trying to buy the fantasy that I want and buy the reality that I want to see. But Jamal Murray's the only, it is plus money. Jamal Murray, the only guy that's making threes currently, even though he didn't take a whole lot, he still was knocking them down. We'll see if he's moving a little bit better. I'm with you, Harrison. He did not quite look himself last night, but today's another day. An anti-inflammatory, I'm sure, is also sold in Detroit. So feeling good about it.
They got to run to CVS.
Yeah,
to get
dude.
some
Why not?
I'm taking another Jokic triple-double. I'm very curious how Jokic approaches this game. He played good last night, and he has to have been so annoyed with how that team played in that third quarter that I do worry about him being upset tonight but as we mentioned, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, these guys are too small, man.
Yeah.
If he wants to, he can go out there and totally force the issue tonight to where they're doubling and he's getting 10 easy assists. So that's what I'm going with.
Dude, how much faith do we have in Michael Porter bounce back tonight?
Not a lot. Last game we put his threes in because for the third straight game we're like he never 2 in a row, never 3 in a row. Tonight we're not touching Michael Porter threes.
Okay.
None of us. You hear that?
I don't think I'm touching it either. That being said, he's probably going to go off.
Easy.
Asar Thompson on him?
Easy money.
Man, I had...
Or is he guard Jamal tonight? Ooh. That could be a tough assignment. That guy is a beast, man.
I was watching...
so athletic.
Can't guard all of them.
Rockets Spurs a couple nights ago, and Amin Thompson was just putting the clamps on every single Spur.
He's unbelievable, man.
So I'm worried we're going to see deja vu.
Need P-Watt to beef up like the Thompson twins, man. Those guys are so strong. So strong. All right. Well, we got any super chats, Kale?
No.
Okay. Right. I'm telling you, people are
nervous
about
vibes.
All right, chat.
Let's get a win tonight,
The
though, baby. Turn
vibes
it
are
around.
disastrous.
Friday night at the DNVR Bar. Everybody hit that like button. We'll see you on the other side.
Let's go.
We all silly like the mayor.